I knew something was wrong the moment the world tilted sideways. 1 second, I was staring at blueprints in the dead silence of Green Tech's empty office. And the next, the lights smeared into streaks and the floor rushed up, like it had been waiting for me. When I opened my eyes, everything was white. Too white. The ceiling, the walls, the air. Like the hospital was trying to hide something beneath all that brightness. My chest felt like it had been carved open and stitched back wrong. Machines beeped beside me, steady but fragile. Like they weren't sure how long I'd stick around. When the doctor used the words cardiac event, I realized my body had finally done what my family never dared. It forced me to stop. They said they called my emergency contacts. My parents. No answer. Not once. Not even a call back. Hours passed. Days passed. And I lay there alone, hooked to tubes, surrounded by machines that cared more about keeping me alive than the people who raised me. On the third day, a nurse handed me my phone. My hands trembled before I even unlocked it. I didn't know what I expected. Concern? Fear? A "where are you?" Maybe a "we're coming." But the first notification wasn't a missed call. It was a tag, a photograph, a lake, sunlight, a picnic table, my family smiling, my mom holding her deviled eggs, Dad with a beer, Peyton throwing peace signs, Marissa posing like she hadn't practiced it 100 times. And the caption under it? Family day without the drama. My heart monitor spiked so sharply the nurse rushed in. I told her I was fine. I wasn't. I zoomed in on their faces. Relaxed, cheerful, completely untouched by the fact that I had nearly died. I didn't cry. I didn't text. I stared until the screen dimmed, and for the first time in my life, I felt nothing. 4 days later, my phone buzzed nonstop. 74 missed calls. A message from my father. "We need you." Not "are you okay?" Not "we're sorry." Just need. Always need. I didn't reply. Instead, I scrolled to the only person who ever treated me like more than a paycheck. Grandpa Joe. When he answered on the second ring, he didn't ask why I'd called. He just said, "You don't have to explain." And that was the first time in years I felt seen. He came to the hospital, sat beside me, and studied my charts like they were financial fraud reports. He didn't hug me. He didn't dramatize it. He simply said, "They finally broke you, didn't they?" Together we went through every account, every transfer, every bill I'd been secretly covering for my family. Peyton's rent, Marissa's loans, Mom's car insurance, Dad's overdue mortgage fees. It wasn't support, it was extraction. He thought it was love, Grandpa Joe said. They saw it as obligation. The next day, from my hospital bed, I shut it all off. Auto payments, transfers, co-signed accounts. Every click felt like I was stitching myself back together. I smile. It only cost everything. He chuckles. That's the discount price. And he's right. For the first time in my life, I'm not a provider, not a fixer, not a daughter paying emotional rent. I'm just Ava, alive, quiet, free. Some stories don't need new chapters. They need endings. And this one ended the moment I chose myself. Peace is a strange thing. You think it's quiet until you realize silence has its own heartbeat. The mountains outside the cabin were supposed to give me calm. Instead, they gave me space. And in that space, things started moving. It began one night, long after Grandpa Joe had fallen asleep in his recliner. The wind scraped the wooden walls, the kind of sound that makes you wonder if something is standing just outside the window. I was making tea when my phone buzzed. No name, no number, just a message. "You can't hide forever, Ava." My blood turned cold. I blocked the number, but blocking didn't stop what came next. The following morning, a car was parked at the foot of the hill. Black, windows tinted, engine running, but no one stepped out. Grandpa Joe saw it too. He didn't panic. He just closed the curtain slowly, like he'd been expecting this. "They won't do anything," he said. Desperate people make noise, not moves. But I wasn't so sure. Later that night, as the air turned icy and the pines swayed like shadows on strings, another message came. A photo, my childhood home, lights off, windows dark, and on the driveway, my silhouette. It wasn't me, but it looked like me, standing there, staring at the house like a ghost trying to get back inside. Under the picture was a single line, "Come home, before someone gets hurt." My fingers trembled. The teacup slipped from my hand and shattered. Grandpa Joe turned. "Saw something?" I couldn't speak at first. I just handed him the phone. His face didn't change, but his jaw tightened, the way it always did when he found an error in a balance sheet. "This isn't family anymore," he said quietly. "This is intimidation." A pause, a deep breath. "And intimidation," he added, "means they're losing." I swallowed. "Should we call the police?" "No," he said. "We call someone better." He walked into his study and returned with a beige folder so old the edges had yellowed. Inside were names, lawyers, investigators, people who owed him favors from decades ago. He wasn't just Grandpa Joe. He had been the one who cleaned the financial disasters of businessmen twice as ruthless as my parents, and he knew exactly how to corner someone without ever touching them. Within 24 hours, he had arranged everything. A private investigator, a legal lock on all my records, surveillance alerts, confidential relocation notice. But the messages didn't stop. They got darker, sharper, more desperate. Come fix this. You owe us. You think you can disappear? You think Joe can protect you? That one made my stomach drop, because the next message was a video. Not a normal video, a shaky recording of someone standing outside our cabin, breathing, slow, loud, intentional. The camera panned up to the window right next to where Grandpa Joe slept. And then, a whisper. Ava. I froze. My pulse hammered so hard I felt it in my teeth. Grandpa Joe watched the video in silence. Then he locked the door, bolted it twice. Pack your bag, he said calmly. We're leaving now. The cabin was supposed to be safety. Now it felt like a trap, quiet enough for danger to echo. We drove into the night, the mountains fading behind us. Joe's old truck rattled, its headlights cutting through fog as thick as grief. Where are we going? I whispered. Someplace they can't reach, he said. But before we could even reach the highway, my phone lit up again. This time, no message. Just another image, a photograph taken through the rear window of our moving truck. We weren't alone on that road. A car followed us, the same black one from the cabin. Its headlights stayed distant but deliberate, matching our speed. Grandpa Joe muttered under his breath. Persistent idiots? I gripped the dashboard. What do they want? He didn't answer at first. Then slowly, control. And when control fails, retaliation. We turned sharply onto an unmarked service road. The black car followed. Joe accelerated. So did they. My breath caught. My chest tightened. The road narrowed. Trees closed in. We hit a bend so sharp my side of the truck lifted for a moment. Hold on, he said. The black car surged forward. Closer, closer, headlights flaring like the eyes of something hungry. But then, flash. A blinding light filled the rear window. The black car swerved violently, tires screeching against gravel. A second set of headlights appeared behind it. A police cruiser. Grandpa Joe didn't slow down, but he smiled. Told you, he said. I know people. We drove until the sun rose, pale and weak against the horizon. When we finally stopped, it was at a safe house. A simple cabin hidden behind a ranger station, known only to a handful of retired officers. I stepped out, lungs trembling from the cold and the adrenaline. Grandpa Joe shut the truck door and said quietly, This isn't over, but we're not running anymore. I looked at him. Then what are we doing? He took a deep breath, his eyes sharp, focused. We're turning their game against them. And just like that, peace wasn't peace anymore. It was preparation. Morning came slow, the kind of morning that looked calm but felt wrong in the bone. Inside the safe house, the air was still, almost too still. Grandpa Joe sat at the wooden table, a mug of cold coffee untouched in front of him. Papers spread like a war map. Sit, he said. I sat. He slid a document toward me, a bank transfer record from my childhood account. My signature was on it, except it wasn't mine. They forged your authorization, he said. Your parents drained the trust fund. Millions, gone. My stomach twisted. They used your name, Ava, your identity. Legally, you look guilty. Everything clicked. The messages, the threats, the stalking. They don't want you home, Joe said. They want you quiet. A cold shiver crawled down my spine. Then how do we stop them? I whispered. He leaned back, cracking his knuckles, by showing them what real fear looks like. For 3 days, the safe house stayed silent, but we weren't hiding. We were watching every move, every call, every digital footprint they left. And then we found it, a private storage facility under my mother's name, the place where all forged documents were kept. If I could get those files, I could destroy everything they'd built. But there was a problem. Someone else was already watching that facility. The same black car, the same tinted windows, the same silent threat. Grandpa Joe didn't hesitate. We force their hand, he said. We make them come to us. How? I asked. With the truth. That night, Joe arranged a meeting, a location my parents couldn't ignore, the old warehouse near Riverside Road, a place my father once used for his business deals, and a place where people went silent if they asked the wrong questions. We arrived before them. The warehouse smelled of rust and dust, air thick enough to choke on. Lights flickered overhead, shadows stretched like claws. Then, footsteps. Slow, purposeful. Familiar, My father entered first. Tall, cold eyes. My mother behind him, lips tight, arms crossed like a shield. You made this more complicated than it needed to be, my father said. You framed me, I snapped. We protected you, my mother hissed. Do you know what we risked to save you from your own stupidity? That word hit me like a punch. Stupidity. The word they used every time they punished me for their mistakes. Grandpa Joe stepped forward. Enough, he said. You didn't protect her. You stole from her. Used her identity. And now you want her gone so she can't testify. My father smirked. You think anyone will believe her over us, over me? Joe opened his folder slowly, deliberately. Inside were photos, documents, recordings, proof of every forged signature, every illegal transfer, every lie. I had never seen fear in my father's eyes until that moment. What do you want? He growled. Joe answered softly. We want you to stop, to disappear, to never come near her again. My mother stepped forward, voice shaking with rage. You think you can threaten us? Not threaten, Joe replied. Expose. He clicked a small device. A red light flashed. My parents froze. It's recording, Joe said. And it's streaming. The investigator handling your case. My father lunged toward him, but he never reached Joe, because at that exact second, sirens screamed outside. Blue and red lights bled through the warehouse cracks. Doors slammed. Voices shouted. Police! Everyone stay where you are! My father backed away slowly. My mother turned pale. Their confidence evaporated. Officers stormed in, weapons drawn. My father tried to speak, but one officer cut him off. We have orders for your arrest. Financial fraud, identity theft, attempted coercion, and obstruction. My father's face twisted into something desperate and ugly. My mother's mask shattered. And for the first time in my life, they looked small, very small. As they were handcuffed and led away, my mother hissed, This is your fault, Ava. You ruined everything. I stepped forward. No, I said softly. You did. She stared at me, and for a moment I swear I saw guilt. Real guilt. But it was too late. The warehouse doors closed behind them. Silence settled. A silence that felt clean. No! Joe placed a hand on my shoulder. It's over, he said. I breathed out, a breath I'd been holding for years. No, I whispered. It's finally beginning. Outside the sun was rising. Not soft, not weak. Bright, direct, unavoidable. A new life, without fear, without control, without chains. For the first time ever, I felt free. My video watching for thanks.